What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I figured that I'd make this video, fill you guys in on Mayweather Pacquiao. Now, this is not official, it's not confirmed. This is just a forecast because, as you know, they have to do all their tallies. Usually within about a week and a half, they can get the data from Comcast and Time Warner, DirecTV, especially since they had some errors. That's why they even told you in the broadcast from Mayweather Pacquiao that they were waiting to bring the fighters out because some of the cable companies had lost signal or whatever. So again, this is just a forecast, but based on the data they have generated and collected, it's estimated that Mayweather versus Pacquiao is going to do 4 to 4.5 million pay-per-view buys. Now, I want to explore this. I don't think some of you guys understand. I mean, it's apparent some of you guys don't understand. 4 to 4. I think even if it gets 4, it has to be considered a success. I mean, I don't see how that can't. When I was hearing this fight, I was thinking like it was going to do like 3.3 or something. So to do 4 million buys to 4.5 million pay-per-view buys. Wait. So, as you guys know, the biggest fights are all held by Floyd Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya versus Floyd Mayweather and Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather. And those both did low 2 millions, I believe. Like 2 to Oscar might have did 2.6, but the Mayweather Canelo I think made more money, generated more money, but the pay-per-view buys in the De La Hoya fight, if I'm not mistaken, were higher. But Canelo was a more successful event, like the live gate and everything, and how much money they generated from that, the one fight. So Mayweather has all of the top 3 highest grossing pay-per-views. And I have to confirm this because there's other things like WrestleMania and stuff that usually has pretty successful ones. So I don't know if it's just boxing or all time. I want to say these are the highest numbers in any sport, just any pay-per-view. I know for a fact in boxing, these are the top 3, but I want to see, I got to do some research to see if this is the highest earning pay-per-view. Like I said, the only one that I think would possibly compete would be WrestleMania. But I think it's all pay-per-views. Out of all pay-per-views, no matter what the genre, this is the number. Now, I'm getting a lot of people, they're leaving comments. They're like, yeah, me and my friends, we're switching to karate and UFC, and we only watch Bruce Lee movies because that Mayweather stunk it up, this and that. Like, first of all, I don't know if you guys are trying to offend me. I'm a lifelong boxing fan. I don't care because to me, that means something very telling. If any one fight is going to sway your positioning, then you weren't a real boxing fan, to me. Because me as a boxing fan, I've had all of the peaks and valleys, the highs and lows, and I'm talking about foul shit happens. Like, I watched a fighter lose 12 rounds damn near and get robbed on the scorecards. Or I've seen a fight and then a judge has a horrible scorecard, 117 111. Or CJ Ross says Mayweather Canelo is a draw. Or I see a ref break up the action, is getting good, and they have a premature stoppage. I've seen it look like people were taking dives. All kinds of foul shit in the sport of boxing. And you know what? I'm still here. I still remain a boxing fan because this is the sport I love. So despite all the bullshit, I'm still here. Some of you guys are telling me boxing's dead, man. I'm watching UFC, man. Like, you sound retarded. Again, I don't know if you're saying it to offend me or whatever. I don't even know why you guys are telling me what you guys. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you guys watch Ghostbusters, Scooby Doo. I don't really care what you guys. This is a boxing channel. I want to talk about boxing. So if you're no longer interested in the sport, I don't even know why you're telling me this. But getting this whole boxing is dead shit, and no, it's not. And I'm gonna break it down a little bit more in this video. If you're doing numbers, first of all, the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. I thought there was always that cutting edge. There's always some tension because Pacquiao started getting off on in the 4th round. You know what I mean? And that was his best round in my opinion. And there was always that element of danger because Pacquiao's real fucking fidgety and like moving around. So it was always a matter of who will outsmart who. It was like a chess game. So to me, I think it's just a lot of sour grapes out there, to be perfectly honest, right? And a lot of people are leaving these comments, boxing's dead, man, and this sucks, and this was a bad look, a black eye in the sport of boxing. No, it wasn't. You had Beyonce, you had Jay-Z in the audience, you had Denzel. All right, okay. You think you could do this to me? You have fucking Denzel Washington and all these basket magic jobs. Hey, how you doing? It's me, Cookie. Yeah, I got HIV. You had all these people, right, in the audience. Boxing's not dead. Even if they didn't like the fight, there were still so many people talking about it. Manny's shoulder injury or this or Floyd ran. It's still talking about boxing. And with numbers like 4.5 million pay-per-view buys, I don't even know why you guys would even fix your mouth. I mean, obviously you didn't know the actual number, but boxing ain't dead. And it's crazy people have been saying boxing is dead for the last 5-10 years. Boxing's dead. UFC's taking over. No, it's not. And I'm going to give you guys some actual facts. I don't know if you guys know. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. So let me tell you why boxing is not dead. Again, boxing is not dead, and I don't see it going anywhere because, like I said earlier, we've been through all the high. I've seen some horrific scorecards, horrific judging. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, who's the judge? Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and shit. Like, I've seen crazy stuff happen. And despite all that, Rod Salka mismatches and Danny Garcia and, you know what I mean, all kinds of Mauricio Herrera losing every time he fights anybody. I've seen too much in boxing. And through it all, we're all here talking about it. You know what I mean? I see the diehard boxing fans because I see you in different people's boxing videos. Showtime will do a video, and you're still here talking. Man, that Rod Salka fight was some bullshit. Richard Abreu, he beat Brandon Rios. Oh, this fight was supposed to get made, and it didn't get made. And then, this is no disrespect to the UFC, because I do like UFC as well. It's entertaining to me. But UFC has a long way to go to ever think it's fucking with boxing, because, like, let me tell you some things. The biggest stars in the UFC, right? A lot of them recently got busted for drugs and heinous shit. Like John Jones, great champion. Now everything is in question and tainted because he tested positive. Now he's involved in a hit and run. So he got stripped, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Nick Diaz versus Anderson Silva. The fight was lackluster from what I read from a lot of people. I watched the fight. I thought it was cool, but it wasn't as action-packed. So you look at it, Anderson Silva versus Nick Diaz. They both test positive. Not a good look. John Jones and Anderson Silva are highly regarded as some of the best UFC people, fighters of all time. Tested positive. Nick Diaz tested positive. So there's a lot of that. Their pay-per-views don't do the same type of numbers as boxing. It could be all-out brawls and stuff. And I don't know why people think, like, nowadays. I feel like the UFC, when it first came out, had more knockouts. I watched the John Jones Cormier fight, and that was good. I liked it, good action, but there were no knockouts. Anderson Silva, Nick Diaz, no knockouts. So it's like a lot of people pump it like there's just non-stop knockouts. I am looking forward to Conor McGregor and Aldo. I think that's a really good fight and a meaningful fight taking place. But either way, like I said, I'm not bashing UFC because I watch UFC, but it's just not. A lot of people are testing positive and stuff. Like, they need to get stuff like that in order to ever conquer boxing. Another thing, here's a fun fact. Ronda Rousey, who is one of the sport's premier stars and leading stars. And her last fight was against Kat Zingano. She handled business at Staples Center in 1 round. That's another thing. She's so high up with that arm bar and shit, and she's so difficult for people to last. She's having quick fights, and it's not like she's knocking people out. See, in boxing, when we have people who end fights early, it's because they are knocking people out. Like Mike Tyson, he was just knocking everybody out. That's why he became a phenom, and people in New York and the East Coast are, oh, you heard about this kid Mike Tyson? Because he's knocking people out. But in the UFC, you have different styles, jiu-jitsu and stuff. Ronda Rousey is very technically good, and nobody could fuck with the armbar or like knock her out or whatever. So, to me, people will talk about Mayweather Pacquiao. I would much rather have spent money on a ticket to Mayweather Pacquiao, that whole event, than to have spent the same amount of money on a ticket to Ronda Rousey's shit and watch her at the Staples Center put someone in an armbar really quick, because it ended in 12 seconds or whatever it was. It was something ridiculous, right? So I mean, people need to stop with this whole boxing is dead shit. Like, how can you feel less satisfied watching 12 rounds of this generation's best fighters fight, but 12 seconds of Ronda Rousey like about to snap somebody's fucking arm is worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And another thing, Ronda Rousey, her last fight with Kat Zingano, she got 65,000 guaranteed. So 65,000 guaranteed, and if she was to get the victory, she got another 65,000, making it 130,000. And Kat Zingano got 100,000 win, lose, or draw, right? So you look at these salaries, they're not even getting paid a fraction. There's bums in the sport of boxing that make way more than 130,000. Trust me. There's people who are like low tier, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not even trying to clown, but like a Jesus Soto Kara, someone who's considered more of a gatekeeper, I guarantee you his last boxing, like Jesus Soto Kara versus Devin Alexander or Maidana, he wasn't making 130,000. He probably made more than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the official purses. That's just a name off the top of my head. But you look at guys like Donaire versus Rigondeaux, for example. Donaire was a pretty big star. He made over $1 million to fight Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux made 750 to 850,000. Don't remember the exact fraction off the top of my head. Versus Ronda Rousey, who's a star and has the star power. And I like Ronda Rousey, but she's making 130,000. And the reason I'm bringing the finances into it is because that shows you the events in boxing are typically bigger. Ask Adrian Broner when the last time he made 130,000 as a superstar or as a star. Ask Amir Khan how much he's making for Chris Algieri. It's not 130,000. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? So again, it just sounds like a bunch of sour grapes. The fight didn't pan out how people wanted. People, media even, I'm seeing people write articles. Oh, I'm underwhelmed and boxing's dead now. Boxing's dead because Floyd didn't get knocked out like you thought he would, because you don't know shit about boxing. Truth be told, that's what it is. If Pacquiao would have knocked Mayweather out, then boxing's well alive, because it'd be like some Wizard of Oz shit. Ding dong, the witch is dead, witch is dead, witch is dead. Y'all would have been happy. So, I mean, stop it. Y'all live in fairy tales. Any event that's doing 4 million to 4.5 million, you can't say the sport is dead. And then another thing, just in closing, that I gotta say is Mayweather and Pacquiao, we knew they were at the tail end of their careers. That's no mystery. One's 38, I think Pacquiao's 36, right? There's a lot of young up and comers. I'm watching Oscar Valdez, Anthony Joshua. I got my eye on a lot of guys. Felix Verdejo is another tough Puerto Rican who's looking sensational as he fights. You got Terrence Crawford. You got Lomachenko beasting people. You got Gary Russell Jr., who just recently resurrected his career, became champion. You got Sergey Kovalev, who's looking indestructible. You got Triple G, who's just walking through everybody, eating punches, and nobody can take his power. Like, what are you guys telling me? Like, what are you talking about? You got Adrian Broner Khan. There's a lot of good fights at 140, 147. And people have the audacity to tell me boxing is dead. Get out of here, man. Like, I can't even understand why you guys, again, it just sounds like a lot of piss poor sports talking about, oh, Manny's shoulder is so boxing's dead. No, I don't want to hear none of that. Boxing ain't dead. If you're producing anywhere, tell me if boxing's dead, tell me the last UFC event that did 4.5 million pay-per-view buys. And again, this is just estimate. I'll clear it up if the numbers come out and that number is heavily inflated or something like that. But that's the forecast. It could be higher, could be lower, could be exactly that. I will keep you guys updated. But according to, and see, this is the thing with the forecast. From what they're saying, it's 4 to 4.5. I don't see why they would put out a figure like that if it's drastically off. So obviously they have some type of intel that leads them to believe that the numbers are right in that vicinity. So again, I will keep you guys posted and updated. Stop leaving me comments, or, you know what I mean, don't expect a response from me. Don't tell me boxing's dead. This is what I do. This is my full-time income. So it ain't dead to me, because I'm still out here grinding, still making videos, people still watching. Check the numbers. It is what it is. Boxing ain't dead. and that's because of the boxing fans. The boxing fans are always going to be here. We've been through work. You know what I mean? I thought George Groves, Carl Froch, I thought the first fight was a bullshit stoppage. Still watch boxing after that. So anybody that tells me one fight altered their perception of ever watching boxing, and don't get me wrong, it's just like drinking alcohol. There's been times where I drank alcohol and then I feel like shit the next day. You know what I mean? Have a hangover in the past, and I'm like, I'm not drinking no more because you feel fucked up and hungover. But then time passes, your friends go out, and you go out to the club and you back drinking just like anything else. So there's been times where I'm like, man, I'm done with boxing. It's just like a bad relationship or something. People say that, oh, I'm breaking up with her. She's annoying. And then you get right back with her, or you know what I mean? Like the sex is good, whatever it is. That's pretty much what boxing is like. No matter what, the fans remain loyal. You could say Maypac was a disappointment and that wasn't the fight of the century, man. Solange in the elevator with Jay-Z was better, man. That's what I hate about this new generation. Let me be real. I hate this new generation because a lot of you guys, not everybody, but a lot of you guys lack originality. You'll take one thing Lampley said or one meme and just recycle it. And I see everybody saying it. This ain't the fight of the century, Jay-Z, Solange, all that dumb shit. Like, be original. If that's what you feel, like, come up with an original joke. Like, all y'all do is recite what other people said. Be your own individual. And again, in closing, boxing ain't dead. Leave me alone. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.